They're different people with different backgrounds, united by their skin color and the shared experiences that come with being black.
Joshua, how old were you when you first had that talk?
I first had that talk, I was actually about 10 years old, 10, 11 years old.
Much of it was around respect, do as you're told, keep your hands where you can see them.
Because once the police stops you, put your hands on the steering. If he says, do this, just do it. If he says, come down, just come down and obey.
My dad sat me down and he was just letting me know that the things that go on with police officers, you have to be very careful, be very respectful around them, because we're a target.
I have fear that what happened to George Floyd, what happened to Tamir Rice, what happened to Sandra Bland could very well happen to my own child.
The cases of George Floyd and Rayshard Brooks are just the latest reinforcing conversations often had by black parents with their children. A generational lesson on self-preservation, how to survive encounters with police.
I believe I was around 9 or 10, I believe, really early. My dad was an attorney, man, so it was very calm. It was very saying, I want to teach you how to conduct yourself out in the streets. This is before I even drove. It was just like just coming in contact with authority and how to protect yourself and stay alive.
I would imagine that every father who has a son, African American, a child of color, is having those conversations because this is not a new issue.
They're uncomfortable lessons not always taught in other cultures, but nonetheless ones many black parents feel are necessary.
You have to. And it's tough because you don't want to scare kids, but you got to prepare them for the world that we live in right now.
I remember shedding a tear because I thought about, I've got to communicate to my son that message of the value of his skin that others don't see.
It's extremely difficult to have to warn your child to be not afraid, but be careful of the very folks who are sworn under oath to protect and serve you. That's a very challenging conversation.
The talks aren't going away, but right now, this time, there's a new feeling and a noticeable difference.
I let him see the video. He didn't understand why a cop would do that to a man, and nobody understands. We just say that it's a lot of hate, and we're working to try to make change in the world.
I think that's really where the change is going to happen, not just inside our community, but all those talks happening in other communities. And we see it's kind of happening now. I see a shift, I really do.